Hello, Formula One fans. Paddock HQ here. I wanted to go into the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix with a little bit of analysis and give you three things that cannot happen for three specific teams this weekend. I'm going to talk about Mercedes, I'm going to talk about Mclaren, and I'm going to talk about Ferrari. Now, there are other teams that when they race, whatever happens this weekend, their fan base and the F1 community will probably give them some leeway and some space. So obviously Red Bull has fast cars. If one of their cars doesn't finish or if they have problems, people are going to be accepting that they know Red Bull will be back again at the next race and be challenging for a top position. Some of the other teams like Aston Martin, everybody is pulling for them, especially if you're not a Red Bull fan. You want to see them hit the podium. But if they have a bad race or a bad week, people will give them some space and allow them room and not lose patience with them yet. But these three teams specifically, I'm going to start with Mercedes, and then I'm going to go to McLaren, and then I'm going to address Ferrari at the end. I want to tell you what cannot happen in Saudi Arabia this weekend regarding Mercedes. Mercedes had a tough week going into Bahrain, not necessarily because they finished outside the top three, but how they handled the media and the expectations from their fan base and from the F1 community. I think they did a poor job. They were inconsistent with their messaging, and it took them a while to find their footing. It sounds like they're a little bit more grounded. They're telling their fan base, listen, we're a mid-pack team, we're improving, we're going to get better, we're going to get better quickly. That's kind of the message that they've come out with now, and it seems like that fan base will be patient and give them a little space to believe that and have that develop. But if the Mercedes cars look like they're putting in a good effort and don't finish in the top 8 or even the top 10, there's going to be problems, because then it will be looking like, are they even a mid-tier team? And what kind of issues are they talking about or having that we don't know? So Mercedes, if they finish 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I even give them 8th. If both of their vehicles finish in the top 8, I think their fan base will be a little patient with them and give them another race and see what happens. But if their cars finish down in 12 or 15th and it looks like they're giving a good effort, it is going to be a disastrous week, I think, for Mercedes, because they will be going in the wrong direction and there will be no indication that they're fixing or working on the problems that everybody knows they have. So, the next team I want to talk about is McLaren. McLaren, their fan base has come to accept that the cars have trouble. They have a lot of issues they need to work through, and they're not going to be competitive this year. They're not going to be competitive, certainly not in the top 3, and the question is whether they will be competitive in the mid-tier level. If both of their vehicles finish in the bottom 5 for this race, they will be in a completely different world than they were just 2 weeks ago. It will look like they are going to finish last or next to last, and the rumors regarding Lando and drivers leaving and all of that will ramp up to incredible levels, creating great distractions moving forward. It'll be very difficult to work through the next couple of races. I think it will have a long-lasting effect. I think it will be very difficult for McLaren if both of their cars finish in the bottom 5. That cannot happen in this race. Now, the third team I want to address is Ferrari. Now, I'm telling you these specific scenarios because if there's a crash or an accident and something happens where the vehicles can't finish or there's some other circumstance, that's different than the specific placings I'm talking about. Now, if Ferrari has an engine or a mechanical failure on one of their vehicles or both of their vehicles, that will be an incredible disaster for that team. Because what happened was last season and going into this season, they changed their team principle, and the feeling was, hey, we have a fast car, We just need to work on our strategy, how we approach the race, pit stops, tire changes, and those sorts of things. So the question was really, look, we've had some issues with the cars, but ultimately they're fast cars, and we think that's not our main problem. Well, now, having the vehicles, at least one of them, crap out in Bahrain, if that happens again a second time, it will be an incredible low point for Ferrari, and I think will have lasting consequences, even this early in the season. Now, of course, Carlos Sainz came in fourth in Bahrain. He was trying to hit a podium. He couldn't hold on. It was unfortunate. I like Carlos. I'm pulling for him. I think he's a great driver. And, of course, Charles is a great driver as well. But if it looks like they're having mechanical or engine failures in Team Ferrari this year, and they're not going to be in the top 3 competitive every single race, I think they're presenting an unforgivable situation for their fans, because they've had a whole year to work on it. They had a whole off season to work on it. And it looks like, now it's put up or shut up time, right? So we'll see what they do. So those 3 scenarios cannot happen in Saudi Arabia at Jeddah this weekend. I'm going to do a post-race video. I'm going to do some analysis where everybody finished, what I think it means moving forward, maybe some predictions. But I'm also going to come back and shoot another video referencing this specific video and these 3 teams, Ferrari, McLaren, and Mercedes, and talk about and see if either one of them hit one of these scenarios, how they can recover, if at all. Now, nobody's putting out more content than me. Paddock HQ is the place to be. I want you to subscribe. Follow me the whole season. We're going to have some fun. Thanks.